Hello learners, welcome back on the class of Introduction to Solid Mechanics. So I hope you all are safe and doing well. So in the last class I have discussed about the shear stress in beam, and in shear stress of beam we have seen the various cross section, and we have computed the value of shear stress at the neutral axis and the location of the maximum shear stress and the magnitude of maximum shear stress. So in circular section we have seen the maximum shear stress occurs at the neutral axis and the magnitude is 4 by 3 times the average shear stress. Similarly, in a triangular channel we have seen the neutral axis shear stress is 4 by 3 times the tau average, and the maximum shear stress occurs at a distance of h by 3, h by 2, and the magnitude is 1.5 times the average shear stress. Similarly, in rectangular case we have seen the maximum shear stress occurs at the neutral axis and maximum shear stress is 1.5 times the average shear stress. Similarly, we have seen the expression of shear stress in flange and wave in I section, and after that we have drawn the various shear stress distribution in the various cross section like T section, S section, I section and other beams. So today I am going to discuss about the another topic, that is what is shear center and what is shear flow, and after that I will discuss some problems related to the shear stress in the beam. So let us about the shear center. So firstly I will tell you what is shear center. So shear center is that point through which if concentrated load passes then there will be no twisting. Once again I am telling, if there any point passes through that point, so there will be no twisting of the cross section and only bending will occur. That's why it is also called center of flexure. So let us discuss about brief introduction about this. So introduction. The theory of simple bending is valid if the section is symmetric about the plane of loading. So the theory of simple bending is valid if the section is symmetric about the plane of loading. Therefore, the plane of loading contains a principal axis of the beam, cross section, and loads are perpendicular to one of the symmetrical transverse axis of the beam, cross section. In such cases the bending takes place without twisting. So there is no twisting, without twisting. As I told you earlier, the point where if concentrated load passes then there will be no twisting, only bending will occur. So in such cases bending takes place without twisting. In general cases where the beam have no axis of symmetry, then the loads may induced torsion. So I am going to define what is shear center. So shear center. Shear center is that point through which, if concentrated load passes, then there will be no twisting. Very important point, no twisting of the cross section, and only bending will occur. So shear center is that point through which, if concentrated load passes, then there will be no twisting of the cross section, only bending will occur. So such point is called shear center. It is that point through which resultant shear passes. It is also called center of flexure. So it is that point through which resultant shear passes. That's why it is also called center of flexure. Note: the exact location of the shear center for an unsymmetrical cross section is very complicated. So the exact location of shear center for an unsymmetrical cross section is very complicated and can be located by inspection only in few cases. It is very too difficult, the shear center for an unsymmetrical cross section. That's why by inspection it can be computed. So I am going to discuss how to compute the shear center or location of the shear center. So there is some thumb rule. With the help of that thumb rule, we can compute the shear center. Dear learners, so till now we have discussed what is shear center. So I told you that shear center is that point where if a concentrated load passes, then there will be no twisting, only bending will occur. That's why this shear center is also called flexural point or shear flexure. So after that I am going to discuss how to compute the location of shear center. So there is a thumb rule. With the help of that thumb rule, we will easily locate the position of the shear center. And after that I will discuss some problems related to this. So I am going to discuss thumb rule to locate shear center. First thumb rule is shear center always lies on the axis of symmetry. Shear center always lies on the axis of symmetry if symmetry is existing. If symmetry is existing, then shear center always lies on the axis of symmetry. Second thumb rule: if there are more than one axis of symmetry, then shear center will lies on the intersection of, if there are more than one axis of symmetry, then shear center will lies on the intersection of symmetrical axis. It means for such cross section, shear center will coincide with the centroid of the cross section. First thumb rule is shear center always lies on the axis of symmetry. If there is only one axis of symmetry, then shear center will lies on the axis of symmetry. If there are more than one axis of symmetry, then shear center will lies on the intersection of the symmetrical axis. It means for such cross section, shear center will coincide with the centroid of the cross section. Third thumb rule is if a section is made up of two narrow rectangles, then shear center will be located on the intersection of axis of symmetry. Along greater length of both the rectangles. What I told, if a section is made up of two narrow rectangles, then shear center will be located on the intersection of axis of symmetry along the greater length of both the rectangles. So I am taking some example. With the help of that example, I hope you will understand. There is a L section. This is L section. So L section, so shear center by third rule. If a section is made up of two narrow rectangles, then shear center will locate on the intersection of axis of symmetry. This narrow rectangle and this narrow rectangle. So shear center, axis of symmetry for this rectangle is this one, and axis of symmetry of this rectangle is this one. So intersection of this symmetric is the shear center. So I have denoted this is shear center S, and this shear center is located by third thumb rule. So in L section we have seen how to locate the shear center. So according to third thumb rule, if a section is made up of two narrow rectangles, then shear center will be located on the intersection of axis of symmetry. Here is two narrow rectangle section. We have drawn the axis of symmetry of these both rectangle section, and intersection of that line is the shear center. Let us take another example, and this is T section. Similarly here, two narrow rectangle is there. So for this narrow rectangle, axis of symmetry is, this is axis of symmetry, and for this narrow rectangle, if I draw axis of symmetry, then it will cut at this point. So this is the location of shear center, and we have judged this shear center by third thumb rule, the location of shear center. Similarly, if I take another example third, this is the example of I section. So example of I section. So axis of symmetry, this is the shear center S. So from which rule we have located the shear center? So it is from the second rule. Second rule say if there are more than one axis of symmetry. Here is more than one axis of symmetry. One axis of symmetry is this, and second axis of symmetry is this. So if more than one axis of symmetry is there, then shear center will lies on the intersection of symmetrical axis. So this is the intersection of symmetrical axis, and shear center will lies at this point. At this point, there will be, if there is a concentrated load passes from this point, so there will be no twisting, only bending will occur. That's why it is called shear center. So this is judged by second thumb rule. Example 4. This is the section. So tell me, from this rule we will locate the shear center. So once again, there is two axes of symmetry. Axis of symmetry means if I put mirror from here, so same things will locate on the bottom side. You can see, if I put mirror image, so exactly mirror image of this from this. So one axis of symmetry is this, and another axis of symmetry is this one. So intersection of this is shear center. So once again, it is detected by second rule. Second rule. If I take a channel section, example 5, let us assume this is the channel section. This is the channel section. This is B and this is H. In this channel section, out of 3, there is a no rule is valid. Means axis of symmetry is here different, there is different, here is different. So in this case, if I compute the CG, so CG will, let us assume this is CG. Channel thickness T, here is also T, and at a distance of E from this side, let us assume this is shear center x. So xx is the axis of symmetry. So shear center will lies on the axis of symmetry. According to the, if there is one axis of symmetry, so the shear center will lies on the axis of symmetry. So we know the shear center will lies on this axis, but the location of the shear center from this side, so location of shear center E is equal to B square H square T divided by 4I xx. Moment of inertia about xx axis, where xx is axis of symmetry. Xx is the axis of symmetry. So from the first thumb rule, there is a one axis of symmetry. So I told you, if there is one axis of symmetry, so shear center will lies on that axis of symmetry. So here we have seen axis of symmetry, shear center will lies on the axis of symmetry, and we have seen the position of shear center from the channel section. So it is B square H square T into 4I into xx. Another example, if I will take example 6 of semicircular. This is the semicircular. So axis of symmetry, this is the axis of symmetry. This one is radius R, and shear center will lies on the axis of symmetry S, and this position is CG. If I compute the location of shear center, so let us assume E is the distance of shear center from CG. This section is called semicircular section. So in case of semicircular section, position of shear center is at a distance of CG is 4R by pi, that is approximately equal to 1.27 R. Another section, if I will take so axis of symmetry of this section. So once again, from first thumb rule, this cross section is called open slit cross section. So in case of open slit cross section, location of CG and shear center lies on the axis of symmetry, and this distance is E. So E is equal to 2 into R. So we have seen the various cases, and we have seen the three thumbs rule, and with the help of that thumb rule we have seen how to compute how to locate the shear center. So I have talked three cases. In first thumb rule I told you shear center always lies on the axis of symmetry if existing. If there are more than one axis of symmetry, then shear center will lies on the intersection of the symmetrical axis. It means for such cross section, shear center will coincide with the centroid of the cross section. And similarly in the third, if a section is made up of two narrow rectangles, then shear center will be located on the intersection of axis of symmetry along greater length of both the rectangles. So let us discuss about shear flow. So shear flow is nothing but shear force per unit length of the beam is called shear flow. So it is defined as shear force per unit length of beam is called shear flow. It is denoted by small q. So shear flow q is nothing but shear force per unit length of the beam. So expression of shear force per unit length of the beam. So it can be written as V into A y bar I into V into A y bar into I. So expression of shear flow is V into A y bar divided by I. Here is shear force. So this is the expression of shear flow. Dear students, so today I have discussed about the shear center, and about the shear center I told you that shear center is that point where if point concentrated point load passes, then there will be no twisting, only bending will occurs. After that I will discuss how to locate this shear center. So I have discussed 3 thumbs rule. With the help of that thumb rules we can easily locate the shear center. The first thumb rule is that if there is a axis of symmetry exists in the cross section, then shear center will lies on that axis of symmetry. Second thumb rule I told you, if there are more than one axis of symmetry lies, then shear center will lies on the intersection of both the axis of symmetry. And in the third thumb rule I told you, if there are 2 narrow rectangles, then draw the symmetry axis for the narrow rectangles, and the cross section or intersection of that symmetry axis will be the shear center of that cross section. After that I have discussed what is shear flow. So shear flow is nothing but it is defined as the ratio of shear force per unit length of the and the expression of shear flow is V into A y bar divided by I, where I is the moment of inertia, V is the shear force, and A y bar is the moment area. So in the coming class I will discuss some problems related to the shear stress in beam. You can also visit my civil engineering blogs talktorashid.blogspot.com for more updates. So take care of your health and happy learning.